Hello everyone, Alden here, Avengers Tech, here to talk to you today about replacing condenser fans on 5591 single condenser decks, BevMax 2 and 3 decks, which are before the decks before they went to the ones where everything was one piece and it sat down below the bottom floor. The 2s and the 3s used a deck where the evaporator, is a separate part of the deck, and it goes and sits up in the the back right hand corner if you're looking at the front of the machine, and it's very difficult to get out of there. It's those. They use the same design in the 5591s. Before they went to what's called the single condenser deck in the 5591, they used a dual condenser and a dual condenser fan style. Those are a whole other story, and we're not talking about those here. This is for the newer decks in the 5591s that have a single condenser fan, and then the 2s and the 3s that use that same deck design. And as you know, if you've ever had to replace one of these before, if you're watching this video now, oftentimes when you're taking the nuts off, the 4 nuts that hold the bracket for that fan down in there, if you have the deck out of the machine, or if it's in the machine, this is even harder to do. A lot of times the bolts that the nuts are wound down onto, and it's some kind of crazy nut size, like a 7mm, some metric size that is impossible, to find a socket for right off the bat. The bolt, when you start to unscrew the nut, breaks where it's either welded, or I don't know exactly how. I'm assuming it's some kind of weld that they use to attach it to the floor of the deck, the metal floor of the deck. And so the whole thing starts to spin, and you can't get your nut off. One way you can get that out of there, if that starts to happen, is yank your shaft of either your nut driver or your socket wrench with an extension on it really hard one direction, and try to wedge that bolt up against one of the sides of the holes that it's in, and start going counterclockwise from there. I'm always able to get the nut off doing that. It takes a little bit longer, especially if it's inside a machine. That's horrible to try and get it off in there. This I have outside the machine, but at least you can get it off. And then this process here is what I do after that to fix that problem. Obviously you can't reuse those bolts again. If it's inside a machine on location, really the only thing that I've been able to do, this is hard to do on location or even out of the back of my truck. I have to take it back to my shop generally and do this. And if I'm on location, just because of how time consuming it is to take the deck out and all that, if I have to replace a condenser fan, I will take it out. You have to take the whole bracket and everything out pretty much if you're going to replace a fan. You can't do that with it inside the machine. But I replace the fan once I get the bracket out of there, and I put it all back in and screw long self-tapping screws through the bracket, one on each side usually, and it goes through the bottom of the deck and to the bottom of the floor of the machine. So which means you're never going to get that deck out of there without taking the condenser fan bracket screws out in the future. So hopefully, I'm the next person that has to take that deck out. And I know that, and I have to figure that out. But there's really no other way to secure that again, and without taking the whole deck out, which can entail 2 or 3 hours at least more work to take all that out of there and do it this way. And so that's the way it has to be done sometimes on location. It's the way you can do it. But if you ever have it out for any reason, you're going to want to fix it like this. And like this one, these aren't ruined. These bolts aren't ruined. But I'm doing it like this while I have it out and have the opportunity. This is going into a refurbished machine. And I want it done right so that if we ever have to replace this, or the customer does, that it doesn't, they can get it off. And so this is the process for replacing those bolts with a setup that, it's not perfect, but it's the only way I've been able to devise so far that will work pretty well, and you'll probably never have the issue of not being able to get nuts off again. And if you do, it'll be real easy to replace a bad bolt if you have something rust out in the future. So I'm going to turn it around, show you what I'm doing. Okay, so here's what they're going to look like when we're all done. But right now, what I do to get to this point is these are your bolts. Move this light. These are your bolts here that are what's stripping. None of these are stripped. I'm just doing this as preventative maintenance while I have this apart. But we're gonna drill or use a Dremel tool and cut these bolts off at their base. I'm gonna do that first, and then we're gonna drill the rest of the bolt out, and it should come right out because they're not in there, they're secure. And then we're gonna use I use T-bolts. that you would use, let's say in trim. These are for trim on Dixie soda machines, like bubble fronts and stuff, and run the T-bolt up through the bottom of there, and then I put a washer on that's just slightly larger than the bolt, and a nut on top of that, and then another washer, and then that provides a nice base for the fan bracket after that. And you might think that it puts it too high, and it doesn't. I'll have the part numbers in a minute here for the kits that you can purchase off our website for this. But as long as the fan blade doesn't come above the top of the condenser here and is spinning below the level of the condenser, then it's not going to hit anything. It's not in the way of anything. And it comes almost all the way down to the floor anyway, so it'll draw air across this just fine. So I'm going to cut this bolt off and then show you what we do from there. Dremel tool and a metal cutting blade. Cut it off flat. Sorry about the bright light. Cut it off flat there, and so now I'm going to drill down through that. You can start with a smaller bit if you need to get down through it, and then go to a larger one. The bit size, let's see, a 9/64 is the largest bit size I end up using, and that's just a perfect size hole for those T-bolts when you run them up through the bottom. So let me get this hole drilled out, and then we'll put the bolt up through it. Okay, so I have the hole drilled out, and one thing I should clarify, the 9/64 is not a large enough hole for one of these regular T-bolts that takes an 11/32 hex nut, which is the most common nut in a vending machine. And it's like a 5/32 hole. And I actually had to go to my 5/32 bit on this hole because I missed the bolt I was trying to drill out just by a little bit, and so the hole that I made was not quite big enough. The 9/64 bit, if you get right in the center of the bolt that you're taking out, should knock the whole bolt out of the hole, and you have a hole that's big enough. And the bolt that was welded in there, though, I didn't get the whole thing out, so I had to make the hole slightly larger. But anyway, once you get that out of there, we're going to come up from the bottom with the bolt, work it up into there, put our washer on top, spin a nut down on it all the way to the bottom, and tighten it down. Put your hand underneath the deck and hold the head of the bolt still if you need to, but get it nice and tight. Do that on all of them on both sides. And you can drop another washer down of the same size onto each one of those. I'm going to stick the fan in here. So as you can see, the blade is well below the top of the condenser, and so it'll spin in here just fine, not hit anything, and those bolts should stay there and stay put so that you can easily take the nuts off the top of this bracket if you ever have to get this fan out of here to service it, replace it, whatever, again in the future, while it's still inside the machine, or even while it's outside. You won't have to mess with these bolts anymore. And even if they did get full of water and get rusted and you had to replace them, this replacement process now is going to be much easier. All you have to do is take a nut off and replace the bolt. It's a real bolt size with a real nut size. I don't know why they use such a crazy nut size on these. But you'll actually be able to replace it. I'll come back in a minute and video this once I have the nuts on. I'm also going to put washers down over these before I put the nuts on them. But there's also one of the reasons why these become so impossible to get out and why they corrode away is because this plastic casing inside this metal is your evaporator pan traditionally on these decks. Problem with that is with all this weight and everything else that's down here and where it's sitting, and just because it's plastic and you have water and heat all in one place, it cracks. And it cracks and the water goes into this metal first and then it leaks out and you end up with water all over the floor. A lot of times you get an account complaining about that. It can often be because this is leaking. And you get water that comes out, this metal isn't watertight, it cracks all over the place. And So it'll start rusting in here. It'll start rusting on the bottom. It'll come out all over the floor, start rusting in your machine. And since this metal, the pan just goes around the metal in here, this starts to get wet and everything in here starts to rust. There is a way that I do the evaporator drain systems on these now, which I'll do a video one day showing how I do it, that puts the water somewhere else entirely and gets it out of this pan, so you don't have water down here messing up with anything anymore, and it won't ever leak out into the machine. You have a much higher water capacity for evaporation and all that. This isn't the best solution, but we'll do another video another day. So let me get this finished up and I'll come back. All right, got the fan on. It's bolted down on both sides. Got a washer and then a nut. Tightened down, it's nice and sturdy. Can't move it at all. Fan blade, plenty of room to spin. It's never gonna hit anything. It's well below the top of that condenser there, which is, there is, you know, a floor right above this, and so if you had something there, it certainly could end up hitting the floor. But this doesn't bring it up that high. It's still plenty close to the floor down there. So you got nice air draw, probably even more even than before, right through that condenser. Quick note on the fans. There's a couple of ways that I do this, just because Dixie used a couple of different fans over the years in the 5591s, where they had the single condenser decks. They used a 16 watt fan motor, and in the BevMax 2s and the 3s, generally I've always seen 9 watt fan motors. And I don't know why they went to a 9 watt. It's essentially the same deck, same compressor and all that. When they continued with this deck design with the evaporator that sits up, you know, in the area, it's impossible to get it out of there very easily in the cold area. And so I don't know why they went to a 9 watt fan. So either one is just fine to use, and the way I normally do it currently is, if the fan is dead and it's a 2 or a 3 or even one of these that has the 16 watt, I'll just put a 9 watt fan motor on there and reuse the bracket and all that. But if there's a bracket problem, or if there's a blade problem, or if you want to replace the whole thing, instead of whatever, taking the fan motor apart or taking it off the bracket and reusing all those old parts, because I have seen brackets break, I have seen fan blades break. You can just replace the fan motor, wire it in there, and be done, and use a 9 watt on the 5591 or the BevMax 2s and the 3s. If you want the whole kit, this kit is available as well. We sell this whole fan, blade, and bracket. I don't know if Dixie makes a kit with a 9 watt motor and a blade and a bracket. I don't stock it currently just because I don't need it. I just use this assembly if I need something with the blade and the bracket. But we sell the motor and the 9 watt motor separately. We sell this 16 watt kit separately. I'm also going to build a kit and put it on our website for doing this. You know, if you don't have T-bolts readily, it'll have washers, nuts, T-bolts, and then you can do this upgrade all by yourself if you need to. I'll have part numbers at the end of this video, so that you can go on our website and purchase them. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call as well. So until next time, have a good day.